was in Nashville back in September for the Americana Music Conference, and last day, I'm on my way to the airport, and my friend, a radio promoter, said, you got to go check out the 30 Tigers Gospel Brunch. So I walked in, ate a fantastic breakfast, listened to all these great artists, and this one guy gets up on stage and absolutely blew me away. And he is with me today, the great Pug Johnson. How are you, buddy?
Thanks for having me.
Man, that was quite a performance and quite an event.
Thank you. That was really last minute.
Was it last minute for you?
Yeah, we weren't booked to play. We were just up there, in town, kind of mingling.
Mm-hmm.
And they had a cancellation, and so they asked me if I wanted to get put on that bill, and thank God they did. And so you heard my mushroom.
Yeah, it's good.
Story.
You had a line about this being a gospel brunch, but I don't really have a gospel song for you, so here we go.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was really cool, and I guess the stars just aligned perfectly because now, you've made it all the way to a radio interview, so big time things happened for you.
Be on the Opry in no time now.
Yeah, from here straight there, yeah, and then arenas after that for sure. So, Pug, you're a Southeast Texas guy.
Yes, sir.
Grew up kind of close to Louisiana. What was life like for you growing up?
Hot.
Right, hot and humid.
Hot and humid down there. A lot of spicy food. A lot of hurricanes. Yeah.
You obviously,
the typical, the swampland stuff.
You obviously did not work for the Chamber of Commerce while you were down there.
No, not at all.
You're selling it well. So I understand you started pretty early, like a lot of artists seem to do. First band was actually in high school. Mm-hmm. Was that just to pick up girls?
No, I mean, yes, but no. Yes and no.
Right.
No, yes.
You don't want to answer that question, do you?
Yeah. No, I mean, I was an athlete and everything, so I mean, I was doing all right, and it's not like I'm hideous, so I was doing okay. But no, I've always had a draw to the music. I've been wanting to do this, ever since I was really little. I would take a guitar and stand in front of a radio and just bang away at it and sing along.
Yeah.
No idea what I was doing, but yeah.
But you could envision that big crowd cheering you on. And
yes, sir.
Were you a rock star? Were you a country star? What were you?
Country singer.
Country singer?
Always a country singer.
Well, well, with that accent, you didn't really have much of a choice, did you?
Right, man. That's what I tell people. I'm like, even though, I might dip into a soul song or some blues or something, it's always going to come out pretty country.
Right. Absolutely. So when you're in that high school band, you're doing a lot of covers, I would assume. Were you doing any originals back then? Were you writing songs then?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Really?
Uh-huh.
Any of those still in the repertoire? Or
no.
You hit every one of those?
People ask me for them quite a bit, and I'm always quick to tell them, I'm like, that was Slow Rolling Lows. This is Pug Johnson. It's a different act.
That was a lifetime ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have yet to find an artist that when they were 15 years old would ever do one of their songs today.
Right.
Yeah.
I did get drunk in Beaumont a few weeks ago, and I pulled one out.
Did you remember? Did you remember the whole thing?
No. In fact, I think I did an impersonation of Charlie Crockett singing the song I wrote at 15.
You were drunk.
I was drunk, buddy. It was a good night. We had fun.
So what kind of do you remember what kind of cover songs you were doing in your high school band?
Oh yeah, we would do Keep Your Hands to Yourself.
Oh, the Georgia Satellites, yeah.
We would do Marie Laveau.
Oh yeah, the Bobby Bear. Man.
We would do.
Well, you kind of had to down there by Louisiana.
Right.
You have a
yeah.
choice. They probably run you out of the bar.
It went. I mean, it was always a big hit. Our lead player back then, Colt, he would do the scream. He could do.
Oh wow.
The Marie Laveau.
That's not
scream.
Easy.
And I mean, people would just eat it up every time.
Oh, that filled the tip jar, wouldn't it?
Yes, sir.
I bet it absolutely would. So I'm going to play the Marie Laveau for you now.
All right.
Right?
Cool.
No, I thought maybe you would.
Oh, me? I
I
mean,
don't have a tip jar.
Down, Louisiana.
So what got you interested in music in the first place? Were there musicians in your family?
No, nobody played anything,
Mhm.
but my grandpa and my dad would both sing a lot, just around the house,
Mhm.
or we'd be riding in the truck, and yeah, they would just sing, and Pawpaw would sing me old Jimmie Rodgers tunes,
Oh wow.
as well as like really silly old songs that he knew from when he was a kid, or like old silly stuff that like they would have sang, on the Navy base, or
Mhm.
while he was at work or something like that. And so there were all sorts of little, plenty of stuff that like I can't sing over the radio.
Navy songs.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay,
Plenty
yeah.
of,
Now I know what we're talking about. Yeah.
and like I think that's where like some of my newer stuff, like Poncho and
Mhm.
Weed Man and
Mhm.
Buffalo Coin, it's all kind of coming out of that, that vein.
So your grandpa got you into mushrooms. I got it. Yeah.
he would shit if he heard that. All the hell I did.
I did not. Was that your grandpa? Your grandpa was Hank Hill? That was pretty damn
pretty close. Pretty close. He was definitely some similarities, and not quite as square as Hank Hill.
Okay.
So
Was he a wild man when he was young? Have you heard those stories?
Yes,
Yeah.
he was. He was very much a wild man.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
That's great when a grandpa can tell you those stories when grandma's not around. Yeah, like don't tell your grandmother I told you this.
Oh hell, he would tell him in front of her sometimes. Ooh.
Shut up.
Yeah.
So you tried your hand like most country artists do at Nashville,
Mm-hmm.
which is,
Yeah, they
good
said,
and bad in both ways. How was it for you?
well, they said it was a 5-year town. And that was what like I kept hearing.
Yeah,
when I moved
I've
up
heard
there.
that.
And so I gave it a solid 2, and then I kind of realized, I was like, man, it just didn't feel like where I needed to be.
Mhm.
If with what was popular at the time, like Tyler Childers and Sturgill hadn't come out yet,
Right.
and so it didn't really look like there was anything going on around there that that was going to be working for me. And so I thought that my best bet would be to come back home and just build a regional thing.
Yeah.
And yeah, and so slow and steady, that's what we've been doing. I went back to college right when I moved home, and I was doing pretty good there. I had about a year left. I was studying writing,
Mm-hmm.
and found cocaine at some point, and then
Just lying around, or
well, in Beaumont, yeah.
yeah. Again, not working for the Chamber of Commerce there either.
No, not at all. But so yeah, I wound up. I was about to ruin my 4.0,
Right.
and so I just dropped the program with the intention of, okay, well, next semester I'll get myself straight,
Right.
and come back and finish up. And I never went back, man. I started taking more gigs, and
Mm-hmm.
it's just been slow and steady ever since.
Do you ever regret that decision, not going back to school, or do you feel like you're on the right path?
No, I feel like I'm doing.
This is what
Like-
you were put on this earth to do.
Like, I think I was there. Like, I think I was in the program long enough, and I got exposed to the right kind of ideas and stuff like that.
mhm.
That I like I'm pretty sure I got what I was going for. Because I was never going to use the bachelor's.
The degree, yeah.
Yeah, like
you
I-
got the cliff notes and you're good.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, and not that if there's any kids out there listening to this,
Stay in
yeah,
school.
go
Yeah.
finish. do your thing. It's nice to have, but in my situation, I feel like no, I got what I was searching for.
I went to college for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And I was out. Yeah. It was too late to get my money back. I
Oh,
just
man.
missed it by like 2 days, but 2 weeks I realized this is not who I am.
Where'd you go?
I started Ranger Junior College. I did dropped out of a junior college. That's how bad it was. I got there on a computer scholarship, and the first day they were teaching you how to properly turn on and off a computer.
Oh, man.
And I was like, why am I here? I'm done.
Right.
But I mean, I started radio when I was 15, kind of like you. You knew what you were going to do.
Mm-hmm.
That was the thing.
Were you DJing right out of the gate at 15?
15 as a sophomore in high school. Yeah.
That's awesome, man.
I was. Yeah. It was
terrifying.
It was terrifying. I got no sleep because the boss broke all the child labor laws. He's no longer with us, so I can say it. Broke all the child labor laws and had me working midnight to 4 a.m. And then I'd go home, sleep for a couple hours, take a shower, go to school, do the football practice, go sleep for a couple hours, and then go do my shift. And he'd call me at like 2. Are you awake? Barely.
Dude, that is a Texas music story if I have ever heard.
But that's like your life, though.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, just weird hours, long hours, not much sleep. But you do it for the love of it.
Yes.
Where do you find
Yeah, I just woke up before we got here.
This is early for you. I'm sorry.
It is. It is, man. This is morning radio, according to me.
So, where do you find the inspiration in your songs? Are these true experiences, or do you just have a vivid imagination?
Most of them are stemming from like my experiences, and stuff. There's some stuff with the new album that we made. There's a few on there that are some other folks' stories.
Okay.
That either I helped them to finish a song, and so it's it's their story, really, and now I'm just singing it. But there's one on there that's just a story, pretty much about some folks that some folks that I know, and not my story, but yeah, for the most part, it's always been whatever I'm going through, and I heard I heard the episode that you did with Lucas.
Yeah,
and the way he kind of talked about the muse and it kind of being like a well, and it's a great great analogy. Yeah. I won't butcher it. You should go listen to the Lucas Nelson episode of this podcast if you would like to hear clarification of what I'm talking about.
You are hired as my hype man.
All right,
well done. Yeah. This music thing doesn't work out. You could do my marketing for me.
95.9 The Ranch.
Dang, I'm glad I didn't cut that off. Yeah, I mean that was a great analogy, and I think every songwriter kind of has to find that spot or that process or whatever that is there for them. I understand you're friends with another songwriter buddy of mine, John Teague.
Yes. Oh yeah.
Great
absolutely.
dude, isn't he?
Yeah, man. John and I went to high school with each other, and his younger brother Matt, who was one of the original brothers of
the Teague brothers,
part of the band. Yeah. Matt was in my grade, and back in middle school, we'd be sitting around, after class or something like that, and I'd be like, Matt, show me how to do this on the guitar. Show me this.
That's awesome.
And so Matt would show me things, and then John and I got to where we were playing little song swap type gigs with our buddy Tyler Darby, who co-wrote Rancho Cucamonga.
It's a great song, by
Sex,
the way.
Drugs, and Rock and Roll. He's written quite a few of them with me.
That's great, man.
Yeah.
Just all a big fan. That's the cool thing about being in Texas and part of the Texas music scene is everybody helps everybody, it seems like.
Yeah,
it doesn't
man.
feel like competition like you probably saw in Nashville, so cutthroat. And they don't want you to succeed because you might take away their success.
I never really saw the cutthroat side of Nashville because I wasn't I didn't get
They didn't let you in
that far into it.
Maybe that's a blessing, though, Pug.
I was just kind of standing out there on the street throwing rocks at the building.
Hey, I'm down here.
Yeah.
That was my best Pug Johnson, by the way. Was that pretty good?
Yeah, dude.
Okay, thank you. I'm trying.
Mindy, what do you think? Think you nailed it?
Pretty good? Okay, good. I'm trying.
Got to throw a stutter in there, and then you got it.
I fumble over my words enough, man. I can barely talk as it is. So you brought your guitar in here.
Yeah.
I'd love to hear you play a song for us, man.
All right. Since we were talking about the Nashville days, this was one I wrote right after I moved there.
Mm-hmm.
This was so like talking about personal experience and where it came from. This was I was dating a girl at the time, and this song was written as if she was cheating on me back in Texas, when actually I was the slutty one in Tennessee. But
you're too honest, man.
You know, I want the people to feel like they know me,
right?
For good or ill. I left out of Beaumont last December. Headlights aimed towards Tennessee. And darling, I could still remember the look on your face when I took my leave. You cried and said you died inside a little. Swore I'd be home to you in time. But now I feel I'm playing second fiddle. And it's plain that someone else is on your mind. And I recall the day you said you'd always love me, even if forever was the means. Girl, I should've known that you'd run back to Austin while I'm trying to keep from crying in Tennessee. Well, Austin was that one you always wanted, even when you said you wanted me. These 712s have brought me clear to July, and you're not where you said that you would be. And I recall the day you said you'd always love me, even if forever was the means. Girl, I should've known that you'd run back to Austin while I'm trying to keep from crying in Tennessee. And I've got enough saved up for August, and I could ask my foreman for the time. But today I got the card you sent from Austin, and I'm scared of all the things that I won't find. And I recall the day you said you'd always love me, even if forever was the means. Girl, I should've known that you'd run back to Austin while I'm trying to keep from crying in Tennessee, yeah. Girl, I should've known that you'd run back to Austin while I'm trying to keep from crying in Tennessee.
My goodness. Pug Johnson. Man.
Thank you, man.
You are a talented dude. I don't know if you get told that enough.
Yes.
Yes, you do.
Yes, I do.
I deserve it. Yeah, man. Like, golly. That's a great song.
Thank you, man.
That is. I love that.
Appreciate
I
it.
just got, she sent me the Cucamonga song, too, man.
Oh, yeah.
That's
Rancho.
that's a fun song. That
Rancho
really
was
is.
fun. I should have played Rancho. Rancho's more fun.
We're going to play it on the radio, so it's okay.
Awesome.
Yeah, it is.
Well, thank you
Absolutely.
so much for that.
You deserve it, man. You deserve
that
to be
means the world.
heard. So, if you could sit down and write with one artist, one writer, who would that be for you? Like if you had your choice.
Probably would have been Billy Joe,
Yeah.
because that's the one that made me want to do it in the first place.
Really?
Yeah.
That is a cool thing.
I came up here on my my aunt and my uncle lived in Dallas,
Mm-hmm.
and when I was about 11 or so, I came up for a trip, to visit them,
Mm-hmm.
and I was already big into Waylon. Like I'd become a huge Waylon fan. I was like, this guy is it. And my uncle was like, well, hey, if you like Waylon,
Yeah.
have you heard
You're going to
Billy
like
Joe?
this one album.
Yeah. And I was like, oh my God. And so that whole trip, and they brought me out to Love and War in Plano,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and got to see some like local Texas country band, back in a phase where like I didn't even know that was a thing,
Right.
And so dude, just like the mixture of all that, the smell of beer and barbecue,
Mm-hmm.
and it was a wonderful blend of things, and Billy Joe, and I was like, this is what I want to do for the rest of my life. Like I want to be a songwriter.
Mhm.
Like when I was a kid, I wanted to be a country singer,
Yeah.
but when I found Billy Joe, I was like, I want to write.
So you've done both now.
Mm-hmm.
That's what you're doing.
Yes, sir.
And you're doing it right, man. You are. You're doing it your way, which is really cool. And
Well,
that's
thank you.
we see so many artists from Texas get very successful because of that, because you've built your own thing. And then when Nashville does come to call, you're like, hey, I get to set my terms now,
Right.
which is really cool to do.
Absolutely.
It is. So what is the ultimate goal for you? Like that one thing where you feel like you finally made it.
Having some money in the bank account would be nice. that would probably.
Isn't that the
I'd
truth?
probably feel really, really, secure
Right,
in
right.
my
Fulfilled.
my decisions in life. No, man. So, we recently signed with Break Maiden Records, which
Yes.
is working through 30 Tigers. So,
Mhm.
like, technically, I'm a 30 Tigers artist now.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna say it, and I don't think anybody's gonna stop me. So, I'm a 30 Tigers artist.
And I will tell you, as a radio guy, I get CDs in all the time. When I get that envelope that says 30 Tigers on it, it's the first one I open
Yeah,
because I always know it's something incredible. And that's really
That's
cool to
awesome.
be associated with a group like that.
well,
There
and
are
they're
some radio
wonderful
promoters that
people,
send me
too.
stuff that get on the bottom of the pile because I know what their catalog is.
Right,
And the 30 Tigers is like, oh, dear God, what is this?
right,
That's like Christmas morning for me every time I see that.
right. Yeah, I mean they've been really sweet, good people to us. So yeah, that's about it.
What's the next goal for you?
To get this new album out.
Mm-hmm.
We've
Do you have a estimated time of arrival?
I'm thinking we should have some singles out around October ish.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, September, October, somewhere in that. I'm really, really hoping. You know, if I was driving, it would
Right.
be out already,
Mm-hmm.
and I would have done something wrong. So, so I'm gonna be patient.
So you're gonna be the passenger.
Yes,
And not
yeah,
be a
I'm gonna let-
backseat driver.
Yeah, I'm gonna let the folks that know more than me drive this one.
I think that's always the
So,
best
yeah.
plan. It's kind of what I do with everything in my life as well. Yeah. Honey, what am I supposed to do here? Tell me.
Man, that's like so nice, you know, to have, right?
It is.
When you know, there's times you get a little bogged down. You're like, I don't really know what I need to do next, and a woman can always answer that question for you.
I'm going to back away from this question.
Well, I can say
I'm going to
because
leave you on this island by yourself,
Yeah.
Pug.
Yeah, I got my wife right here.
Right.
She's-
Well, man, it has been an honor to finally get to meet you. I'm telling you that,
Likewise.
like, as you could tell, that was September, and I still remember that moment, watching you go up
Oh,
on that
thank you,
stage
man.
and sing, and it was like, whoa, something's happening here. And like, that's what I live for in this industry, is those moments like that like I find an artist for the first time and it just completely blows me away. And then I just, time to time I forget about him. I have not forgot about Pug Johnson, and that's what's really cool about it, man.
Thank you.
I love what you're doing.
Appreciate it.
Cannot wait to hear this new album.
Yes.
If I give you $3, can it come out a month earlier, maybe?
I mean, maybe.
I
we
mean,
can
bank
work something
account, I'll
out.
help it.
$3.
I mean, I have to ask if I can have my $3 allowance, but other than that.
Validate our parking and we'll talk.
It'll validate my parking. Well, thank you, buddy. I appreciate you
Thank
chatting
you,
with
sir.
us. Best of luck to you, and can't wait to hear this new album.
Thank you, buddy.
Pug
Thanks for having
Johnson,
us.
everybody.